This is the Now Morning Show, your Monday edition, and yes, I am here, but that's because we have lots to talk about, including the Prime Minister's Best Village Trophy competition as it continues through the country. This morning, to tell us more about it, we were joined by Miss Louris Martin-Leasing, and that should be Mrs., the Program Manager for Best Village, as well as Mr. Gideon Gangaram, the Best Village Officer 2, responsible for Victoria West District. So, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
I'm always excited to have you guys on the show because we have seen decades of Best Village.
Yes.
And funny enough, this morning, our previous guest mentioned how it's being used as a tool in our schools so that we are not just continuing to promote and share our culture, but we are enhancing our youth with it. Louris, tell me a little bit as to how that happens, because there's so many ways that we tell stories, that we share information. How does Best Village help to do that?
Well, this year, our theme for Best Village, every year we have a theme. This year our theme is The Future is Folk. So we made a concerted effort to work with schools this year. So we approached the Ministry of Education and said, you know, how can we interact with you? We proposed a program during the week, during school hours, a light program, a sort of a caravan. And they counter-proposed and said, well, you know, we have these vacation camps and centers that we're doing. It's a revision program. We think Best Village would be a real enhancement to that, you know, delivery. So we were like, that sounds amazing. And we started talking, myself and Dr. Smith, the CEO, and his team, Ms. Hossain and all of them over there. And it's coming together still, but we've started working with them, and it's great to see our Best Village tutors who do so much work to get our groups ready for Best Village every year, working with these young students in the schools and passing on the legacy.
I can only imagine. Now, the form that it will take, as you say, it's still being worked out. I imagine will be along the lines of the competition itself, but then we also have the Junior Best Village, which is a newer or a different concept, if you will. If we can get in, if you can give me a little insight into that one, what is Junior Best Village?
Junior Best Village really encapsulates our young and young at hearts in particular.
Young at hearts.
Yes, so we have 6 to 16 years old, male and female, and most of the camps, 7 of our camps in fact has started since last week.
Right.
The other 3, there's 10 in the entire country in each district. 7 has started last week and the other 3 has started this morning. So it's right now some of our camps are oversubscribed. We had a ceiling of 80, but trust me, it just doesn't happen.
Right.
I think so in Point Fortin,
We have like 125 or something.
Yeah. And what is so amazing, you know, with the Ministry of Education coming on board with us with this new program, it just shows how valuable we are. Because we really capture the youths, and the art forms is bringing out this positive vibe, this feeling of excitement, this exuberance. It just keeps bubbling like an overflowing fountain right now. I mean, in Victoria West, we are doing African, that culture. And I tell you, you would think that, especially in culinary arts, you wouldn't find that children would gravitate to wanting to cook. My goodness, they're running down that session more than anything else. Nice. So it's really a vibe. It's really happening.
I like to hear that. Yeah. Now, the form of the competition part of things is differing from Junior Best Village, right? So give me a little distinction, Louris, as to what the format is actually for the Best Village and the Junior Best Village then?
Sure. Well, Junior Best Village is a non-competitive, it's a camp. And at the end of each camp, there's a presentation. So each of the camps has a different theme based on the people who came to Trinidad and Tobago. So Mr. Gangaram's camp is African. Last year he was East Indian. Yes. And every year we sort of change it around. So the kids learn culinary arts, they learn craft. Yes. They learn dance, music, and literature or drama based around that culture that they're studying. So our kids really walk away with a real grounding in the arts and the culture, and culinary and the craft of the culture that they're studying, you know. And so many people came here. It's always easy to find themes.
Oh, yeah.
We have a Syrian, Lebanese one. It's, you know, Chinese, everything. The folk presentation finals, which is going on now, is very competitive.
Right.
You can always check that out on the Ministry of Sport and Community Development's Facebook page. We've been live streaming and sharing all the shows. So if you've missed it, you still have a chance to catch up.
Right.
Just yesterday, we were in Victoria West for the dance and drumology final, and that was very exciting, very competitive.
Full house.
Full house, both days, Saturday and Sunday, all day. All these different creative freestyle dance, spiritual, local, African devotional, African influence, and of course the drumology category, which I find has been getting more and more innovative every year. Very exciting presentations yesterday evening.
Well, glad to hear you say full house, but is that a free event that we all are getting to go to?
All Best Village events are FREE.
In uppercase.
Yes.
In uppercase. I like
that.
That was it, because when you talk about the preparation that takes place, when you talk about how competitive it is, it's interesting that we have the opportunity as the community members who may not want to display the talents to go out and support.
Yeah.
So when you talk about a full house, this is just persons coming to their regular spaces to enjoy.
Absolutely. We do share the information, and the groups themselves, they bring their communities with them to support. So we always have a big house at Best Village because these groups are really embedded in their community, so the communities come back and support them.
Now, granted that you are in one particular community, but you mentioned that sometimes the themes will change so that the information that's being shared differs year after year. Do you think it contributes, or how do you think it contributes to making sure that Best Village stays alive and fresh and concurrent? What do you see from the actual participants?
The appreciation for the culture of Trinidad and Tobago, and the appreciation for what has landed here in Trinidad. For instance, it was really amazing last year. Being in Victoria West, the campus East Indian, and we had 140 children there. And out of that 140 children, there would have been 5 children who would have been of East Indian.
Descent.
And the rest was so appreciative of putting on a dhoti or a sari or learning to make kachori or pulori. It was overwhelming. And it's a little bit different this time. Now we have an African and we have a lot more East Indian children in that sense. And it's same appreciation. Now the thing about it is not just that. It's about they are actually learning who we are, what we are, and how we appreciate when they go back to their schools, how they would see their friends and their co-workers or anything else, everybody else. It is seen in a different light. That is what brings out the positive aspect of it.
I love that.
So they can come out in our society that, as people might paint a dark picture, it's not dark. These children are seeing something different, so we can appreciate and they can appreciate each other in a more positive way.
It's important that the next generation has, of course, that knowledge of where they come from, as they say, but also the excitement about it. And so you are challenged with year after year finding a way to reignite that in a whole new group of students with different challenges, different backgrounds. Tell me about how Best Village is able to stay relevant for 61 plus years.
Well, I've given it a lot of thought. Because of course the challenge for us and our team is to keep Best Village relevant and to keep Best Village going. And of course we have so many challenges. As a culture, we're dealing with cultural globalization, where we're becoming more and more similar, but not similar to Trinidad and Tobago, similar to Europe, similar to the USA. So we are losing a little bit. And everybody knows about these children with the YouTube accent who say water, right? Instead of water.
Good morning.
Right?
Burgers.
Burgers, right? And fries, right? So we want them to say kachori instead and pulori, right? And I think that's where Best Village comes in, because I remember the first time when I was very young, maybe in my late teens, that I traveled abroad. And people asked me, where are you from? And it wasn't burger and fries. When we start to define ourselves to the rest of the world, everything in Best Village is part of that definition. And so we can go out there, these children are going to go out there stronger Because here in Trinidad, we all of us know about Mukojambi, and we just see these things, and it's part of the fabric of our lives. But when I can go to the USA, go to Europe, go to Africa. I was in Ghana recently, and I'm explaining Mukojambi to them, and they have a counterpart. I'm explaining Pero to them, and they have a counterpart. It is very empowering to know who you are culturally and to be able to compare and contrast that with other cultures. And I think that is the strength of the work we are doing at Best Village. The number of participants we have thousands of participants every year. We have over 250 groups participating this year, which is a marked increase from the year before and the year before. So what we're seeing is there's an interest, there's an enthusiasm, and it's growing. And the work we're doing are creating well-rounded citizens who are empowered and know where they come from.
Get them thing. And for them to know where to go to witness things, we have a bit of a calendar, because I know that there are still activities that are happening.
Yes.
You did mention the dance and the drumology happened already.
Yeah, that was
What can we look forward to this weekend? Well, the coming weekend.
Well, this weekend coming, we have a beautiful category, which is literature and dramatic literature. And that is, I love that one because I'm a dramatist. I come from acting. I have an acting background, right? And again, this is in Victoria West. We're at the San Fernando North Community Center, and we'll be doing 10-minute playlets, right, under the dramatic literature, 5 of those. And then we have short story and spoken word competition, as well as something really interesting that I met in Best Village that I really like. It's called Village Chat. And it's where you give 5 participants a topic, and they have to be of different ages, representing different aspects of the community. So you have to have a person over a certain age, an elderly person. You have to have 2 young people. You have to have 2 people who are like adults in their middle age, 30s, 40s. And then you give them a topic 15 minutes before they go on stage, and then they're supposed to have a chat about it. And there's rules where one person can't dominate the conversation must flow. And I think in a society where we have so much conflict based on different perspectives, I think Village Chat is a real good example of how to have a conversation, how to disagree respectfully, how to talk.
Wow.
Yeah.
You would think for a chatty community or a chatty country like Trinidad and Tobago, that might be easy, but Best Village is here to make sure it's done well, and I appreciate that. I know that the Junior Best Village camp are happening simultaneously because it's July.
Now, yes, right now as we speak, the camps are in progress. This Friday would be the last of the 10 days for 7 camps, which there would be a great, a big showcase of their presentation of what they would have done. Next week, Friday, would be the closing of the other that remains, and that would be the end of it, but it's not the end of it. In particular, this year, Ms. Leasing had introduced 2 categories in particular where the young people would be competing in dance for them among themselves. They would not be competing with the rest of the big guns, as you would say. And that was so appreciative, because when you say creative freestyle and national patriotic dance comes out, oh my God, you would see the creativity and the sense of vibe. But these young people, they come out with their moves. I don't know where they get it from, but it just comes out.
Yeah.
It just comes out. So there's that. So the relevance of Best Village, the fruits of it, it's in the young people, and it's happening.
It is happening, and we thank you very much for praising us. You are welcome to come back at any time to update us and continue to do the good work, lady and gentlemen.
Yes, thanks so much
and the rest
for
of the
having
team.
us. Yeah, man.
So, of course, the Prime Minister's Best Village Trophy Competition, the folk presentation finals, and Junior Best Village camps are what you want to pay attention to. You can head to the Ministry of Community Development, Sports and Community Development, rather, for more information and dates. But for now, we will continue to see ourselves just as vibesy as the Best Village team here on the Now Morning Show. Stick around, guys. We'll be back.